The Philippines is set to allow the voluntary use of face masks indoors. But one health expert says it may be wise to observe the impact of new emerging variants first before easing restrictions. The body of the alleged middleman in Percy Lapid's murder has been transferred to the Philippine General Hospital for a second autopsy. And the Mactan Cebu International Airport has resumed partial operations after or pending the removal of the Korean aircraft that overshot the runway on Sunday night. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. President Marcos is set to issue an executive order on the voluntary use of face masks indoors. Tourism Secretary Cristina Frasco confirmed this to the media. But Frasco qualified that face masks will still be mandatory in public transportation and in medical facilities. Unvaccinated individuals, persons with comorbidities, and senior citizens are also encouraged to keep their masks on indoors. President Marcos relaxed the mask mandate for outdoor settings last month, despite some pushback from health experts. The DOH says it will wait for the official guidelines from Malacanang regarding this new indoor mask policy. One infectious diseases expert is calling on the government to observe COVID subvariants first before relaxing the indoor mask mandate. Speaking to us here on One News, Dr. Jaime Montoya explained that it is better to observe how these new subvariants will behave. The Philippines earlier detected 81 cases of the XBB subvariant and close to 200 cases of the XBC subvariant. The XBB subvariant has been driving the uptick in cases in Singapore, while the XBC subvariant is a recombinant of the Delta and Omicron variants.
It's difficult really to make a definite decision at this point to make voluntary masking indoors
because of the subvariants that have been coming up. And I think we still have to observe how they will behave in terms of number of cases and severe cases, even among the vaccinated people.
Having said all that, Montoya still believes that the country is nearing the endemic stage of COVID-19.
Well, it seems to be that we're moving to that direction. For as long as these subvariants do not have a major effect on the protection provided by our current vaccines, and as far as prevention of severe disease is concerned, then I think we are on track.
In other news, the body of the alleged middleman in the killing of Percy Lapid will undergo a second autopsy. Gio Robles with the report.
Forensic pathologist Dr. Raquel Fortun is set to examine the remains of June Villamor, the alleged middleman in the killing of broadcaster Percy Lapid. This is the second time that his body will undergo autopsy after that of the Investigation Bureau. Villamor's remains were transferred from a funeral parlor in Alabang to the Philippine General Hospital in Manila. Fortun said she will find answers to the questions surrounding his death.
Pero as a pathologist din, medyo marami akong tanong. Like, for instance, hindi man lang sinabi dun kung anong edad niya. You know, that's so basic, the age and the sex. Tapos, walang sinasabi about them opening the head to examine the brain.
The forensic expert also questioned the supposed lack of toxicology test.
Automatic, kinukunan niya ng samples for toxicology. Kahit hindi ka nagsususpect ng intoxication. But in the Philippines, that is not done. And obviously, if mauna yung embalming, sira na yung samples.
With this, Fortun said there's a need to establish a system of death investigation in the country.
Basically, wala nga tayo kasing sistema. So nakakalusot yung mga mali. And yun ang nakaka-frustrate kasi parati na lang natin itong pinag-uusapan, parati natin pino-point out bakit ganito ang nangyari. Hanggang usap lang tayo.
There's no word yet on when the second autopsy results will be released. Authorities said there are currently 160 persons of interest in Lapid's murder. This includes suspended Bucor Chief Gerald Bantag, who is being sued over his supposed lapses in security management in the Bilibid. For News 5, Gio Robles, we are One News.
We're gonna go on a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Mactan Cebu International Airport has partially opened its runway after an accident involving a plane of Korean Air. For the details, we have Gemma Vansenia reporting to us live from on the ground. Hi, Gem. What's the latest?
Sean, Korean Air and the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines are working double time on their investigation. For now, Mactan Cebu International Airport has partially resumed operation since the aircraft that overshot has not yet been removed from the runway. Passengers flocked to the Panglao Bohol International Airport on Monday. It served as the alternative hub for the affected passengers after a Korean airplane overshot the runway at the Mactan Cebu International Airport.
Transfer kami ng NAIA.
Kailangan niyo, sir, mag-travel?
Opo, ma'am. Kailangan, ma'am, kasi may seminar kami bukas, ma'am. Hassle talaga, ma'am. Sakripisyo para sa kinabukasan.
The MCIA has reopened its runway but only from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. The plane, it turns out, has yet to be removed from the site. Over 70 flights were accommodated as of Tuesday afternoon.
We shortened the runway and we are operating a runway length right now of 2,700 meters or 2.7 kilometers. So that length of runway is enough to safely operate all the aircraft.
Authorities said they can't resume full operations yet since the accident damaged the runway's lights.
We have to do a lot of things. So we have to do repainting works, to install visual lights for course tayo. We have to make sure na matatapos siya early.
Korean air officials have also arrived in the country to join the investigation. They are set to extract the plane from the runway and retrieve the black box to determine the cause of the mishap. Authorities said no passengers and crew members were hurt in the incident. Sean, there is no word yet if the plane's black box has already been extracted. As of this time, airport officials continue to repair the damage on the runway. Sean?
All right, thank you so much for those updates. Jem Avancenia reporting to us live from Mactan in Cebu. And visitors looking for a Halloween treat can visit the Baguio Museum for an up-close look at a mummy. Laila Pangilinan tells us more.
The Baguio Museum has its own unique entry to the Museum and Galleries Month this October. The museum features a wide collection of artifacts from different provinces in the region.
Our museum is about the collections of the whole of the Cordillera, and Cordillera is made of 6 provinces. From this museum, makikita nila yung difference ng each of the provinces.
But aside from this, visitors can catch a glimpse of a real mummy in the museum. It lies peacefully in a fetal position, resting inside her coffin in an enclosed glass. No one knows her age, identity, and where she came from.
Ang tawag sa mga museum technical po, no provenance, na ibig sabihin wala siyang pagkakakilanlan, we don't know where is she from, we don't know kung anong history niya, parang ganun po. So, no document about her. Po, ang pagkakakilanlan is a doctor said she's female, nakikita kasi sa structure ng body or yung sa pelvic bone.
But one thing is for sure, she belongs to a rich family.
Ang minamamify only is the rich people because of the process nga po, yung pagri-ritual nila from the very beginning na namatay yung tao hanggang sa magagawa na siyang mummy. It's also like in Egypt that only the pharaohs are mummified.
The Igorot mummies are called meking in the local tongue, or fire mummies, as the process required burning wood around the corpse.
Immediately upon the last breath, they will let him drink salt and water. Parang it's like their formalin or a preservative. They use salt in order to preserve the bodies.
After this, the body will be cleansed with various leaves, after which the smoking begins.
So the body will bloat na, and kasi because of the drunk salt and water. Tapos, ilalagay na siya sa cave, pinapaupo siya sa tinatawag nila sa mountain province na sangadil or funeral chair. Tapos, parang ngayon, firing or meron po siyang smoke in order to dry the body.
The whole process usually takes months, even up to a year. In the Philippines, only Igorots practice the preservation of the dead. Because of its cultural importance, the fire mummies were declared as a cultural treasure in 1973 under Presidential Decree number 260. With this, it is essential to respect the fire mummies in museums or in caves.
Ang pinapakiusap nga po namin sa mga bisita na wag na lang siyang i-take ng photo para hindi lang siya ma-exploit. Yun lang po, parang to respect the dead person. Pero yun nga po, at least dito sa Baguio Museum, makikita nila ng malapitan.
For News 5, Laila Pangilinan, We Are One News.
For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.